import into my Sims 2 game. From there, I'll be creating a prosperity neighborhood, which is not really a challenge so much as a way of playing. Cat has recently done a series and is doing a series about their lovely challenge, Spruceburg. And I also have been watching a lot of Simmers on YouTube play their challenges and just have really a great time sort of documenting it without having to just pause and take pictures all the time. I just find it so interesting how other people play their game and would love to share how I play mine. So I'm basing this neighborhood off of rural England, specifically southern England, because I'm not very familiar with the north. Sorry. It's this neighborhood specifically is somewhat based upon Arundel, which is somewhat local to me. Despite the accent, I am living in the UK. Arundel is this little castle town. It has a very small but interesting high street, and a lot of more rural country houses in the outskirts. And I thought that that was just perfect for both sort of more. When I say urban, I think people who are familiar with that town will laugh, but sort of more close together constrained living, but also more countryside living. Currently, I'm just fiddling with The Sims City 4. I christen the town and then have to quickly go out of it again because I'm sure anyone who has messed with the SC4 creator will know that it is incredibly difficult to tell levels. You have to switch between God mode and city mode quite a few times in order to get things looking the way you want. And a lot of times it still doesn't look the way you want. There's some ways to mitigate that in game. I usually don't take that because I'm incredibly lazy. I usually just sort of take what I can get. But you'll see me putting down this bridge. I'm not going to keep it. It's mostly just to check the elevation levels in around the river, which is incredibly difficult. But Arundel has this lovely river running through it, this beautiful bridge, and there's also a few inspiration photos that I really wanted to attempt to recreate. So I'm going back into God mode, fixing kind of the areas. So this kind of area on the hill is going to be the historic district. There's going to be a castle, a henge, and then the sort of old chapel, which I'm hoping my Sims can sort of find cool little secrets in. The long street that you're about to see right here is going to be the high street. And then it's going to connect to the other side of the riverbank and go into some more some more rural areas. It's important to remember as well that everything will be flipped in the game. It's all mirrored. Some people care about that. Like I said, I'm incredibly lazy. I don't. I sort of build it as I see it, and then I just deal with it in game. I'm just happy to be able to create my own stuff. You'll notice that I left a road bare there. I didn't connect it. I was planning to do something fancy with a curved road. Oh, that will be a tool that will hurt us later. Now that we're in game, we can see how it looks. I'm placing some bare deco. This video is a little jumpy. Don't know exactly what happened, but it's not that interesting. It's mostly just me playing around with the hood deco, laying some lots. Yeah, you can see me initially struggling with this curved road, and I go, I can fix that with modify terrain elevation. I can't. I'm very bad at that. I'm placing some bridges, seeing kind of what I want there, taking a second stab at that curved road, failing. I'm just playing around, seeing kind of what I want to do. I find it really difficult when you first start a new hood to begin decorating. What I like to do, and what helps me a lot, is to pick kind of one central big piece and build out from there. And with larger hoods, I pick kind of like two centerpieces. So for this one, I knew I wanted a railway station. Taking trains is very common in my existence because I do not have a car. And I know that they're super boring for most people who grew up here, but I love looking at train stations. They're one of my favorite things. So I wanted one in my new city, which you might notice is called Damprot Keyes. This is actually an old neighborhood name which I have repurposed because I do that a lot. Repurpose names, sim names. I don't usually repurpose lots, but that's mostly just because I do not have the foresight to save them. So I'm just playing with this I'm just playing with this railway station and this connection, kind of seeing how I want it to end up on the tunnel. My hood deco doesn't always align. Again, I know there's ways to fix that. I'm very lazy. What I usually do is just hide it with trees. I don't really care much about the neighborhood view. I don't spend a lot of time there except to take pretty pictures that make me happy, and I can always angle stuff in a certain way. I do need to look more into how trees interact with hills. You can see me kind of struggling with that. So I've placed the train station lot. I don't think I'm actually going to have a train station as of such there. What I think I'm going to do is have a little flower stand in front of a deco train station, and you'll see me place that in a little bit. Now, I've placed some deco buildings just to kind of get a feel for what I'm looking for. And I'm also obsessed with these aqueducts. My town has these like historic aqueducts which run around a certain amount of the city. But I do not have the mod so that you can place, I think I must have deleted it, so that you can place Max's Hood Deco anywhere. And these have a huge hitbox. So you can see that the only lot in the neighborhood right now is that train station, and it's still running up against it. So I need to re-download it, but they will be back because I'm very attached to the idea. So from here, I'm placing a few lots that I know I would like. Like this is going to be a riverside tea house. I'm playing around kind of with where I want this school, which is there, with the football field attached. And from there, that allows me to kind of narrow in to that corner of the map. So I don't have to focus on this huge amount of stuff. You can see me again struggling with these aqueducts. Don't worry, they're going to go in a minute. But yeah, so what I like to do is I'll focus in on an area, place kind of what I can, and then what I'll usually do, which is why this has a bit of an abrupt ending, is place a sim lot, a residential lot with a family, and then build out from sightlines. So I'm building out the historical district here, the historic castle lot, the henge, and the chapel. I think I am going to have some sort of Tudor era houses as well around this castle area. Here is the beginnings of the train station, building out the deco there. I'm really excited to have something where I can just build the things that I'm interested in from the get-go. I love doing more complicated challenges. If you've been following me on Tumblr, you'll see that I'm doing a homestead challenge, and that requires not as much rule keeping as some of the other ones, but I think I just needed a break from spreadsheets for a little while, have something else to focus on. And it's also such a different way of playing when you're recording, which I think will allow me to focus kind of on that rather than anything else. That residential lot I just placed is going to be a canal houseboat. I really like that idea, so I thought it'd be really fun even if it was going to test my building capabilities. From here, like I said, I'm narrowing in on this school despite the fact that I don't think any of my Sims will be living anywhere near it. Just doing the parking lot kind of in the way that I have seen parking lots here be built. The hedgerows, those get moved in a little bit, and kind of how I want it to interact with the rest of the neighborhood, how I'm seeing it in my mind. How I want it to be connected to the high street or the rest of the residential areas. You'll see me put a bus stop there. I think that that is such a good little piece of deco that really brings the neighborhood together and makes it feel really real, as well as street lights. Love putting street lights down. I wish I had some deco playground equipment, but also maybe I have too much deco. Now, I thought that'd be cute to have like some row houses right in front of the school, but those aqueducts giving me trouble, so I put it down here. What I usually like to do with row houses, because I'm too lazy for lot adjuster, is I'll just put deco next to them and then block it off, and then put a row house like next to it on the other side. That also allows it to look a little bit better from lot view because the deco doesn't compress as much as the sim hood, this like playable lots. And that's the end of my decorating. From there, I built our first family, and I'll show you guys a speed build of their house in the next video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this little brief tour of how I started setting up Damprot Keyes, and I hope we get to see a lot more of it later.